Watching Beyond the Villa after the shocking revelations about Kenny using Janae for clout, allegedly not even liking black women, just basically just using her and berating her behind the scenes, watching it just feels a bit weird. They were quite a popular couple, but now I'm just kind of thinking, are people now thinking, oh, well, he never liked her. Like, look at the signs here, look at the signs there. Would you have caught these signs before knowing the information? Now, personally, out of the three, I think that they were clearly the weakest couple out of Leah Miguel and Cordell and Serena. Now, I wasn't sure if they were going to last long term, but I at the very least thought that he liked Jana. I didn't suspect that he was like a full-on grifter out here. But in the early episodes of Beyond the Villa, his energy was noticeably low, like lower than it usually was. Like he was a bit chill and mellow on the show, but the energy was even lower and noticeably lower than the other couples. I mean, people are going to compare couples, and I was comparing them, and I was kind of thinking, Janae seems to be the only one enthusiastic about this coupling, whilst Kenny doesn't really, and it's giving very much like they're together now because out of convenience and because of the opportunities that they have together as, a notable couple from their season. Like I said, I thought that he initially liked her, and maybe I suspected that maybe he's sticking with her because it is a lucrative relationship, but I didn't think he was plotting since day one, like, yeah, I'm gonna get with Jana and I'm gonna stick with her and get all the clout from, black women and all this stuff. I wasn't thinking that. But yeah, so this episode, we start to see the cracks in the relationship. Janae and Kenny adopt a dog. Janae's very enthusiastic about it, but Kenny is not. Now, Kenny says that he's not a pet person, and as somebody who is a pet person now but wasn't before, I understand not necessarily being enthusiastic about adopting a dog, but it was just too low energy, especially if you know this is going to make your partner happy. I feel like his low energy, almost a clue that he doesn't like her. And it's giving very much now, it's got to the point in the relationship where everything that she does irritates him. Because when they went to the park to meet the dog, everybody's being really enthusiastic about Janae's excitement, but he's just there looking sad and miserable, kind of bringing down the vibes. And then we get into the bigger issue, which is that Janae wanted to and expected them to move in with each other short term for their filming in LA. So it seems like initially Kenny was umming and ahhing, then basically was like, okay, just for 2 weeks. And then he was like, actually, no, I think it's better if we live separately. And bearing in mind, them living separately, they literally live next door and they're adopting a dog together. For me, it doesn't make sense why they're living apart next door to each other and they're adopting a dog. It don't make no sense. If it's just for 2 weeks, I would understand if it was actually long-term, that I would understand, but for 2 weeks living together, you'd rather live next door whilst you're whilst you're fostering a dog together. To me, it didn't make sense, and that was another clue. And also, I think it's quite interesting because typically men love women moving in with them because it is low-key a free maid. So the fact that he is the one saying that he doesn't want to live with her, because men are so fast to invite you around their house. For me, that was a little bit suspicious. Now, Janae's obviously upset about this. She says that she feels blindsided and he kind of just sprang it on her and she was really upset about it. And she was just kind of like, am I being over dramatic? And Serena and Leah were both like, no, this is weird. And they're both kind of side-eyeing Kenny. So it seems like Leah and Serena had an inkling. The way that they were coming at Kenny, at their comments, in his comment, they were clearly peeping some shit, and I think maybe they were kind of secretly they were waiting for something for them to be like, I knew it. And Serena basically said the same thing, like she personally doesn't want to move in with Cordell, but she said she would find it strange if she said that she wanted to move in with Cordell, and Cordell basically was like, I don't want to move in with you. She said she would find it weird. And yeah, I agree. Men love moving women into their houses and living with women. So the fact that Kenny doesn't want to was definitely a red flag. And then on top of that, where he's living, he doesn't seem to be proactive in okay, they're going to live apart. He doesn't seem to be proactive in getting a place that's closer to Janae. He's got an apartment in Dallas and he's got an apartment in New York. I think Janae is moving to LA. LA is a big opportunity there for, influencing business. Why doesn't he want to move to LA? Even though that's in his best interest, it's close to his partner and it's a good hub for business. It seemed like he didn't want to move to LA because he knew he was going to break up with Jana soon. And that's probably why he was being very vague about it, because the fact that his lease is almost ending and they haven't discussed anything, he wasn't serious about even moving close or being with Janae. But I gotta hear from you guys. Do you feel like this was a red flag and foreshadowing for, the scandalous downfall of Janae and Kenny? Or do you feel like this was just normal stuff that could be resolved in a relationship? Like, people are just looking into it now because of the revelations that have come up. Me personally, I feel like this is a red flag. But I gotta hear from you guys.